The Corobrik-SAIA Awards for Excellence is a prestigious event in the SAIA calendar. It is the process where buildings and architects that have received regional awards are put forward for consideration at a national level by a group of adjudicators who are independent of the regional awards process and who are selected by the SAIA president in their capacity as convener. This honour passed to me for the 2018-2019 cycle, which has been somewhat delayed, having taken place through a period of immense difficulty. The adjudication has had to navigate a series of national lockdowns and immeasurable personal and collective loss as a result of COVID-19. As we cautiously emerge into a post-pandemic world, this is a moment which requires pause and reflection for the space the awards hold and how SAIA as an institution might face and contend with the future. We are fortunate to have had an esteemed panel of adjudicators who bring a diverse set of expertise and knowledge. Bonnie Makwe, who is a practicing architect and director at Studio Mass Architects and Urban Designers, a national practice that has been awarded numerous Corobrik-SAIA awards amongst other accolades. Bonnie was the first black woman to obtain an architectural degree from the University of Cape Town. Dr. Huda Theop, architect, senior lecturer and architectural historian. She has taught in architecture schools in South Africa and the UK and has practiced as an architect in South Africa, India and Japan. Mohammed Mayat is a practicing architect, urban designer and principal director of Mayat Architects. He was a Harvard Fellow where he pursued an urban design master's. Yewande Omatosho is an architect and award-winning novelist and writer. Her debut novel, Bomb Boy, won the South African Literary Award for First Time Author Prize, and her second novel, The Woman Next Door, was shortlisted for the International Dublin Literary Award and Bailey's Women's Literature Prize. This astute group of critics have inspired many lively, broad-reaching and thoughtful discussions and debates. These range from a focus on the particular entries and how they speak to the state of architecture in South Africa, and extended to the position of the awards in a global context. These deliberations are summarized as follows. The Corobrik-SAIA Awards for Excellence are meaningful and they communicate a sense of the state of architecture in South Africa. They offer a moment to celebrate the talent and innovation of the architectural profession across regions, bringing communities of practice together. They also provide a reflective moment and temperature reading to the broader built environment world about where we are currently as a South African community of practice. In contending with the dual role awards play, they ask us to question what might still be possible and the role architecture and design could play in our communities and country. As a panel, we understand that an award cycle acknowledges exemplary works and sets an agenda for the future. Moments of pause require critical reflection. As the adjudication panel, we were tasked to work through the role of the awards, to engage critically with the project submitted, and to ask how the awards process and SAIA as an institute might continue to hold relevance and play a substantial role moving forward. While not the only kind or form of temperature check, the panel viewed the collection of 68 built works and 3 written works that were submitted to the final stages of this award as a snapshot of the time. And apart from showing us what talent exists worthy of acknowledgement, it also, perhaps predictably, reflected an industry still in the grips of change. The panel wanted for more female contributions and contributions from black architects and architects of colour. But what does the absence of these groups indicate? Of course, the SAIA Awards is not a site of empirical research, but rather a celebratory moment that also, through examining its demographics, offers a loose indication of much more complex dynamics. Dynamics and complexities we cannot resolve in one gesture, but there is an imperative for us at this time to use this platform to reflect on this inherited condition, while hoping for a future industry healthier in its diversity. It is important as judges that we can confront and speak to the bias of the process in order to work towards difference. The awarded projects were judged on their innovation, considered relationship to context, sustainability beyond a buzzword, their functionality for their purpose, and their responsiveness to questions of inclusivity. In addition, it was important for the panel to acknowledge courage and experimentation, as it is in this testing ground of difficult choices that an alternative future for the profession lies. Exemplary projects pushed the boundaries of materials, created unexpectedly beautiful and serene spaces, and stretched expectations and understandings of what might be possible. They ask us to contend with high levels of social and spatial inequality, the urgency of climate change, and, with a cautious sense of optimism, they suggest responses that provoke a different kind of architecture for another future that might just be possible.